started our humble journey back in 2013. At that time, our founder, Joe Tirme Samanta, we call him Joe, was working at Google in Silicon Valley, USA. Thanks to his close proximity to the Silicon Valley entrepreneurs, we landed up with a few projects for early-stage startups to architect, code, and launch their SaaS-based products with the help of a solid in-house development team back in India. The response from that first batch of clients was so positive that our clients themselves started referring us to their business peers. And that's how, purely from word of mouth, we started getting our next round of customers. In the meantime, Joe also moved from Google to Salesforce and then to Amazon, collecting technical and business experience from some of the biggest names in the industry. This eventually helped us to build world-class business and technical practices in our company, which fueled dramatic growth for BinaryFOlks in the next few years. Excited by the phenomenal success of the company, Joe came back to join the rest of the BinaryFOlks team here in India in 2015. Though we started with a couple of startup customers, we now have a full spectrum of clients, starting from cutting-edge startups all the way up to large multinational companies, even organizations from the Fortune 50 list, with a presence in multiple countries and a few thousand people in their payroll. As a custom software development company, our primary objective has consistently revolved around building software solutions that are an absolute bang for the buck that our clients spend. This is the reason 94% of our clients who have tried us in the first place made us their permanent choice for any subsequent software development ventures they had. We have over 75 successfully delivered projects across 15+ countries to back these facts. Our services are cheaper than what you will traditionally pay a top-notch developer from the USA, but the quality of the software we deliver is identical to what you would expect from them. We have unique access to the seasoned expertise of ex-Google, ex-Amazon, and ex-Salesforce engineers, so the technical capability is unmatched. We always give our clients a fixed cost option so that they always know what their total cost and time commitment is, even before they spend their first dollar with us. But if you want to go for an hourly option, you are welcome as well. Before starting our journey, we did a thorough survey as well as detailed market analysis to see why a majority of the cross-border business relationships fall on their face after the initial success. And 3 things really came up very prominently from that study. First is trust. Trust is one of the biggest challenges when it comes to operating cross-border. With different countries, the laws change, work culture changes, work ethics change. In fact, what people mean by yes changes too. So instead of jumpstarting with a model that requires our clients to trust us to T right at the beginning, we start with a low trust model, where the client has to pay only after they test the user-verifiable milestones pre-approved by both the parties before the development of the project. It definitely has its fair share of overheads, but as we deliver 1 or 2 successful projects, both parties are willing to raise the trust bar, and eventually the related overhead vanishes. On top of that, the standard NDA, IP rights, and usual legal stuff are always in place in case our relation goes south. And all these are backed up by the International Chamber of Commerce's remote arbitration process, so you can do it from the comfort of your home. And if you are willing to believe us in good faith, we already have some of the industry veterans from Silicon Valley, as well as different parts of the globe, who gave out their first-hand experience about us in the neutral third-party platform LinkedIn. The next important factor which came up in the study was commitment. Let's face the fact that the custom software development sector is highly competitive, and supply of software development companies is more than the demand for good quality projects. The reason behind this high supply of companies is the fact that the entry barrier to this business is very low, now that leads to a situation of quality deterioration. Since the space is overly competitive, some companies or freelancers would get into the trap of saying yes to anything and everything you ask for. For example, if today you ask to build a platform like Facebook and you want it to be done under $5,000, 3 out of the 5 companies that approach you will say yes within the first hour of you posting the project. But we are very sure you will not get anything better than a Band-Aid version of a ready-made forum software in the name of Facebook. So it was clear from our analysis, people commit too easily and then fail to follow through that. But fortunately or unfortunately, that was not an option for us since we heavily relied on our existing work quality and resulting word-of-mouth marketing from our satisfied clients to get new customers. So, we don't state a budget immediately after knowing about your high-level requirements, since there's no point in vaguely throwing some numbers if we can't follow that through. But if you insist, we can give you a possible price range. The cost of a custom software is dependent on multiple factors like the number of screens, functionalities, and the overall complexity of the project. By complexity, we mean it on the coder's side to be precise, in order to make the solution more intuitive on the client's part. Think of Google Maps, how simple and intuitive it is to the user, but since we have Google insiders on board, we know exactly how complex it is at the back end. So, we don't go by the commit and forget mojo. We take time to analyze the client's requirement in terms of the expected timeframe and complexity, and then commit only if it can be reasonably executed by our team. However, once we commit, it's written in stones, and what you see is what you get on the mutually agreed BRD. If that is not possible for us, we politely pass on the job and remain friends rather than making an unhappy customer out of you. Last but not least, effective communication. And by effective communication, we don't mean speaking fluent English or Spanish. It means asking the right set of questions to extract the idea from the product owner's vision and flesh it out to a detailed product specification which doesn't leave any ambiguity to be discovered after the product is developed. To give an example, suppose you as a client want to build a tiger. So you go on explaining to your service provider 2 eyes, 2 ears, 4 legs, and after listening to your description, the service provider on the other side decides, okay, 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 4 legs, right? Let's build a cat. Now, technically, he is not very wrong. Both of them have the same common basic features, yet they are 2 completely different beasts. The case is worse for the custom software, as the name alone doesn't mean much. Forget cat and tiger. We have even built the same ERP software for $30,000 US as well as for $800,000 US. 2 completely different beasts. But with our expertise of building 75 plus products across 15 plus countries, we have perfected the art, or you may call it science, to go beyond the names and jargons and capture the real requirements in detail to avoid any last-minute surprise during project delivery. If you want to know more about us or have a software project in mind, you can reach out to us at sales-team@binaryfolks.com or visit our website www.binaryfolks.com. Thank you for your time.